We are living through the crypto FUD tsunami of 2021. A lot of people are wondering why the price of Bitcoin is performing so poorly. I want to show you guys something. I'm looking at the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin, starting up here at the top left, around that $65,000 top, all the way down to here around the $30,000 low. And I want to display to you guys the sheer amount of FUD we've experienced since the 65K top. The first thing that took place at the top is the Chinese government turned off the power grids, making a large portion of the Chinese Bitcoin miners go dark. That was number one, right? So we have that tweet. And what you can see is right after that happened, the price started to dump. We started to lose some steam. After that, Bitcoin was able to recover. Things were looking okay. And then, boom, the Tesla news. Elon Musk says that Tesla no longer accepts Bitcoin for payments. And of course, that caused a tremendous dump very quickly. And then shortly after that, we got talks of interest rates potentially being hiked, which caused some fear in the markets. And then right after that, we had tax day, the final day that people could pay their taxes, which caused more selling. And then after that, we had China FUD. China threatens to ban crypto, causing more selling. So all of this FUD led us all the way in to this bottom formation that we're at right now, near the $30,000 level. We touched off 30,000, we bounced up, and then what happened? The US Treasury threatens to crack down on cryptocurrencies, causing yet another dip in the markets recently over the past 24 hours. And then Hong Kong restricts trading to professional investors only. Guys, this truly has been the crypto FUD tsunami of 2021. We've never seen more FUD compacted in such a short period of time, causing such rapid bearish speculation and such rapid selling. If you are still hodling onto crypto, hats off to you. For most people, it has not been easy to do it. In my videos from yesterday, both on YouTube and in Patreon, if you guys follow my content closely, we were discussing that we would very likely get another dip to the downside to retest this support range. Today, there's been so much fear about this dump. People were calling for even lower prices. People were saying, we're going to go for 25K now. And we've been talking about on this channel how 30,000 is very likely to be the bottom. I think it's very likely to be the bottom. I'm still sticking to that prediction. And yesterday, we were mentally prepared for this dip right here that we saw today. Let's play the clips. We are creating higher lows. We're creating a bottoming formation. Don't be surprised, guys, if the price pulls back, right? There's always potential for like another test of support before we actually rally out. I want to mention that don't be afraid of every little move in the short term. If you go back and you look at the way that it played out during the March crash, which is similar to what's happening now, we had some chop for a few days, right? We dumped. We saw like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days going sideways before coming up, right? So, just keep that in mind. If we're going to go up and down for a few days, that is totally normal. I even took it to Twitter last night. Right? If you're looking at this image, before we saw this pullback, I made this diagram on Twitter as a joke. I said, guys, be mentally prepared for this. And it shows the first dip that we're seeing today. People are saying, oh, it's over. Bull market's over. Then we rally back up and everyone will say, oh, I'm bullish again. Then we'll pull back. People will say, okay, bear market for sure. Then we rally up again and people say, oh, I feel good. And then people will say F crypto. And then once we break out back to the upside, once we recover, everyone will claim that they were bullish the whole time, right? This is classic. It's classic stuff. And all you see right now is people talking badly about Bitcoin, people being bearish on Bitcoin. And this is just the most common mistake people make, is they get bearish at the bottom. They get bearish at the bottom, guys. They're bullish at 65K, but they're bearish at 30K. Classic mistake. I think we're still in a bull market, and I think it's important to be bullish in a bull market. A few other things I said on Twitter today. I said, this is the point of maximum fear. And it's the easiest place to take advantage of emotions to get people to panic sell. Don't be bearish at the bottom, right? China's releasing FUD today to get you to sell into their hands at the bottom. Also, another thing I said on Twitter today, everyone is bearish right now at the bottom. Have fun staying poor. China is buying your panic sell. Now, of course, I'm being very confident in my opinion that it's the bottom. is it guaranteed to be the bottom? No, it's not guaranteed, but as you guys could probably tell by now, I'm very confident that it's the bottom. And we've talked about this many times. We've talked about this many times in my past few videos about the volume analysis. When you get volume levels this high, you're usually at a major market top or a major market low. And we still have 2 days left on this weekly candle. And in these next 2 days, I expect these volume levels to continue to increase and probably exceed these January volume levels to be the second highest volume we've seen since the March crash, which would indicate that this is a bottom and that we're probably going to rally out from here. And also, if you're looking at the way that this is playing out here, and you take a look at 2017, we spent, a week or two to the downside on a lot of these corrections. And right now we're spending a couple weeks to the downside. This is obviously a larger correction than what we saw in 2017 in terms of percentages, in terms of time. So maybe it'll take longer for us to recover. But I think once you get volume levels that are this high, you usually get to, you snap back to the upside over the next few weeks. So I do expect Bitcoin to snap back to the upside over the next few weeks. Will it play out like March where we get rapid bullish speculation and the sentiment flips around? It's possible. And I do expect Bitcoin to break into a new all-time high within the next few months. And I do expect Bitcoin to potentially start testing up to the $100,000 level before the end of the year. On this channel, we talked a lot about the summertime being the top area, maybe August or September going into the end of the summer being the area where we peak. That's less likely now. It's less likely to be the case. And it's more likely now that things may play out towards the end of the year. Maybe I'm thinking that these extra few weeks moving down is leading me to believe that we may be topping out somewhere in October. So I am changing when I think we're going to be topping out. Part of the reason why I'm starting to consider to change my end of bull market prediction about when we're going to top out is the analysis that I provided for you guys yesterday, how when you go from halving to the first major weekly dump, it was about 370 days, 390 days back then. And if you go from the last halving to the current weekly dump, it's nearly the same, 370 days or so, right? Very similar timing between each dump after the all-time high break. And from this weekly dump to the all-time high, it was about 150, 160 days. So if we're going to go up for another 150, 160 days, that would actually land us in October, right? So the timing right now is actually leading me to believe that we may actually, have a pretty rapid recovery and punch up going into October, and that's when we find our major bull market peak area. And by that time, I do expect the Wall Street ETF to launch, and that could be a top signal, or at least a signal that we're entering the final mania phase. Now, this probably all sounds crazy to some people that I'm speaking this bullish about Bitcoin in a time like this, but guys, this is how it's done, right? You don't sit there and stare at the lower timeframes and get all scared, right? You have to look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture. Not much has changed for me. Not much has changed. I think that my prediction may be wrong, and we may top out after the summer. Now, people are going to say, Kev, okay, but what's the bearish scenario? What bearish scenarios could we be looking out for? Well, a bearish scenario that I was thinking about, that if this is going to be the start of a bear market, 30,000 would be the new 6,000, right? Like we saw here. We had similar volume levels, a similar type of thing that happened here off of 20K dumping all the way to 6K. That type of a dump is similar to the March crash, and it's similar to what's happening now. So the bearish scenario in that Bitcoin is going to be creating lower highs from here, and we may create like some kind of descending triangle pattern before a breakdown of the trend and test below 20K to find a bottom around that 20,000 area. This is a bearish scenario that I am considering. I think it's less likely, but it's possible, I guess. But right now, I'm still remaining quite bullish. I am still remaining quite bullish. This little 4-hour dip back into the support range was predicted on this channel, and it was predicted on my Twitter feed well in advance, guys. So we were mentally prepared for this here on this channel. But you guys should know my opinion by now. I think that this is the bottom. We're going to create a bottoming formation and probably recover over the next week. We may go sideways for the next week. Also, guys, be sure to sign up with the Cryptowatch platform if you also want to be able to post these tweets on the chart. You can actually time that up. That's a new feature they have. Now I'm looking at the 1-minute chart for Bitcoin. If I post this news here, right, we had the FUD that China was going to crack down on crypto, right? So that came out. You know, it probably came out this is the 1 minute chart. It probably came out a few minutes before this. This is just one of the outlets that reported it really early, within minutes. You know, this is what caused the rapid speculation. So you can now look at tweets and how they affect, or news, and how it affects the price of Bitcoin using the Cryptowatch platform and copying the tweet link and pasting it on your chart, and then it shows up for you. So if you guys think that that's cool, which I think it's pretty cool, sign up for Cryptowatch using that link below. But guys, just keep a level head. Keep a level head. Volume levels this high usually mean we've hit a bottom, right? So I'll see you all in the next video.